Okay, so let's continue. Now, when we talk about color, right, we're talking about the text color. So if I want a particular color to be green, or I want a particular color to be red, or I want a particular color to be green, anything, what do I have to do? All I have to do is what set the color of that particular element. So I'm going to change this, remove this background of background image. I'm going to remove this background image. I do not like using it, just doesn't allow me to see what I'm doing. So let us use this background color of yellow. Now, let's say I want to change the text color of H1, right? This particular H1 that is here. I want to change it to, let's say, green. How do I do that? All I have to do is come to my style.css and I can say H1, right? Then I can give it a color of what? Green. Color of green. Now, if you check it out now, you see that it is now the color of green, right? Do you understand it now? Similarly, I can go ahead and I can give the p tag a color of what? Blue. Right? So if you check it out now, all the p tags are now blue. Do you get it now? That is basically what your color is. Your color is just trying to tell you that, okay, we are going to help you set the we're going to help you set the text color of your particular of that particular element. Do you understand that? That's what your color is going to help you do. Now the next I'll be talking about is fonts. So I think I tried explaining what fonts are in our last class, even though I did not do anything on it. So when we talk about fonts, right? Fonts are they basically control how a particular element is going to look. So those are probably been doing graphic design or UI UX. I think we should be familiar with fonts, right? So fonts are that's exactly what fonts are. They are just going to control how your text look like, how big they are going to be, how bold or thin they are going to be, how just that's just really what font does. Now, in this particular lesson, we'll be talking about font family, font weight, font style, and font size. Let me start with font size. Now, what am I by font size? If I say font size of now, one thing that I also want you to know is that in CSS, we have something we call measurements. Right? These measurements are basically the standard of measuring elements, right? How big a particular element is going to be, how thin is going to be, how bold is going to be. This is like the standard. And what are these measurements? You have pixels, or in some places you call it px, right? You have percentage, right? You have rem, you have em. Now, you see these four. You also have other ones that we're talking about. You have a viewport. So viewport, and under this viewport, you have two types. You have view width and view height. Right? But we'll not be talking about the viewport right now. We're talking about pixels, percentage, rem, and maybe not m. I'm not going to talk about m because m is not really that important right now. Once you understand rem, you don't need the em. Now, pixels are the standards for measuring, elements in CSS. When I say they're the standard, they're like the foundation. You need to understand pixels. So right here, I can go ahead and give this tag. I can give it a font size of 1 pixel. Now I want you to note what's going to happen. It's going to be smaller. So check it out. So as you can see, can you still see it? No, because 1 pixel is very, 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 very small. But if I go ahead and give it 100 pixels, note what's going to happen. It is now very big. Do you understand it now? If I give it 10 pixels, it is still small. If I give it 50, it is going to be a bit big, but not as big as what 100 pixels. That is what it is. Do you get it now? Now, on the other hand, if I say 1 rem, I want you to check something. 1 rem. Do you notice that? Let me show you 1 pixel, right? 1 rem. Which one is bigger? the RAM, right? That's to tell you that one RAM is equals to what? 16 pixels. That's the calculation. One RAM is equals to what? 16 pixels. That means two RAM is also equal to what? 32 pixels. Do you get it now? But you don't have to always cram it. So people prefer to use RAM. Someone like me, I use RAM almost every time. Although I don't use CSS again, but when I used to use CSS a lot, I used to use what? RAM. But some people use pixels more. They feel like it's even easier to use pixels. Right now, I use pixels because I use Tailwind for styling. So most of the time, the Tailwind, you tend to like want to focus more on using pixels or sometimes RAM. But that's not the point. Um, when we talk about RAM, we're talking about one RAM equals what? 16 pixels, two RAM, 32, three RAM, keep increasing, right? Then percentage is talking about the amount of, so if I percentage most of the time is not used for text, it is used for like height and width. So if I say 100%, what am I saying? Take the full height or take the full width of that one, of the particular page or that particular element. All right, we'll do a little by little so you understand what I'm trying to say. So if I give this 20 pixels now, what do you have? See that it's bigger, a little bit bigger, right? So that is what your pixels are. So now, I just explained two things. I explained font size and RAM. And also I explained what pixels. You understand? So that you can understand how all of these things are used. So that I can come here and I can say font size, right? Font size. Let's give this one RAM. So if you check it out now, it is now smaller. You understand it now? So 20 pixels is bigger than what? 16 pixels. You know, I told you that one RAM equals to what? 16 pixels. But if I go ahead and give this 5 RAM, note what's going to happen. It's not going to be very big. That's 5 times what? 16. Is it clear to you? Please don't do the math. Leave the math. Just understand what RAM is and what pixels are. I'll be clear to everybody.
Please come again.
So, not honesty, the only one that I don't know the default size for my head, H1. We can actually find it out now. But every other normal text, they have a default size of 16 pixels. So what am I saying? Let us give this 16 pixels now. This paragraph 16 pixels. Let me run this. Now I want you to check something now. Did anything change? So as you can see, every single text that is in H1 has a default size of what? 16 pixels. Do you understand it now? But for the H1, I'm not so sure of what of the default size, but we can actually check it out. We can check it out together. So if I say 32, 32 pixels, so let's check 32 pixels. And let's see if that's what H1 is. So as you can see, the default size of H1 is what? 32 pixels. Now, that is basically what all of these things are. They have their natural pixels. And I don't think that actually matters because you can always change them later. You can always, okay, reduce their size, reduce their boldness, reduce their, you can always do that with CSS. I've answered your question. Okay. So that is that about font size and font size, RAM and rows and pixels. Do we understand this? Do you understand this? Silence is making me feel like nobody understands. Mr. David, do you understand? Do you understand, ma'am? Is it clear? Which, eh? The RAM. Okay, only the RAM. Mr. John, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, what's not clear? Is it everything? Yeah. HTML. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why, if you've noticed, I just want to know if you are following. Even so I should right. And even Mr. Aisha, I'm like still trying to okay, just go ahead and watch this video. I'm not going to rush you to be able to understand. That's why when he said everything, I knew it was everything because it's not easy to catch up CSS without understanding HTML. I mean, you can do it, but you're still going to get confused because you've not done HTML. So, what I'm just going to advise is please, and please try as much as possible to like cover up these things. And throughout the weekend, in fact, I will be available this weekend. So, you can always chat to me if you have anything that you need to like. Maybe I don't understand form, I don't understand tables, I don't understand this. You can always and leave tables. Do not worry about tables. So don't worry about tables. When you're on Monday, I think we're on Monday. Yes. So that one we did on Monday. Do not try to cover it again. Just leave it. Tables. So that with two first set of videos. Leave tables. And there's a reason why I'm saying it. You can cover tables later. It's not really important right now. Just try to like understand all of these things first. So if you don't understand it, please reach out to me. It's important. So that by next week, everybody's going to be on the same wavelength. Starting with you have a question. So can you share your screen on this? Okay, just explain it again. So can you come again with the explanation? No, let me do something. So which one for only that one? That was so are we good now? Can we continue? Okay, so let's move on now. Now the next thing I'll be talking about is the font weight. And what's your font weight? Font weight basically deals with how bold or how thin a particular element is going to be. So just to have like a better view of what I'm trying to say, I'm going to remove this background so you can see what I'm trying to say. So now, if you notice, this one is very, very what? It's very, very thick. Can we say it? It is bold. So let us say I want to reduce the boldness of the H1. H1. I can say font weight, right? I am getting font weight of 100. Now, can you see how relaxed it is now? So let me remove this. If I remove it, see that it's very, very bold. But if I put it back, what can you see? You can see that it is now what? Thin. That is what font weight does. And font weight ranges from what? From 100 to 900. So 100 is the thickest. Sorry, 100 is the thinnest, while 900 is the what? Is the boldest. Or is it bold? Whatever the English is the thickest. You understand it now? That is what uh, your font weight is all about. Your font weight ranges from what 100 to 900. 900 is very, very bold, while 100 is the least um, of, um, of the font weight size. So now, if I increase this to 900 now, you're going to see how bold it's going to look. You understand it now? But now, if I put it on 100, it is now what very big. But if I put it on 500, it is normal. You understand it now? It is not thin, it is not thick, it is just what normal. That is what font weight is all about. Is this clear to us? All right. So now that is that about font weight. So moving on to the last, okay, I think we have two more. We have font style and we have font family. We'll talk about font family and we'll talk about font style. Then I'm going to give us a little bit of break just to like write this, and then we're going to come back. So let's have font family. What is font family? Now, font family is, I like to fall back on maybe things I feel like we should be familiar with already. So, for instance, let's take how many of us have probably used MS Word before? MS Word. I think I asked this question last on Wednesday. But now there's this particular editing tool that is in editing your words. You can use it to write books, you can use it to write a lot of things. Now, in those books, you see fonts. Some fonts are stylish, some are natural, some are, that's basically what your font family is. So your font family is going to tell you, okay, this particular font, this is going to be, this one is going to be, this one is going to be. Now, if I put this one as first now, see how it changed the look of my what of my H1 tag. You understand it now? That's basically what your font family is going to do for you. It changes the look of a particular font. So if I remove it now, as you can see, it is normal. But if I add it back, it is now what a little bit what styled. That is basically what your font family is going to do for you. Now let us check other font families so that we can use them as an example. So now if I check, now you have a lot of them. You have Korean. Now, if you've noticed something there, these things are, see that it is not of one. They are like in, let's say, groups or parts. So you have one there, you have three on one particular company. You have like 4 or 5 there, you have 2 here. Now, what this means is that it was a family. Some browsers probably won't process certain fonts because some browsers are very, very cool. So in case your favorite browser is Edge, sorry, I'm not shaming your browser, but Edge is a very good browser. Right now, it's very, very good. Now, some fonts won't work on Edge because Edge isn't probably doesn't support newer version of font. So what they've now done is that they now call it like a family, whereby you now have multiple fonts. You understand? So in case this one is not working, this one can work. In case this one doesn't work, this one can work. But the first one right there is your major font. You understand that? But in case it doesn't work, it moves on to the next. It looks like your image. So your image tag you have was your source file, so your source attribute and your alternative attribute, right? Now the source attribute is where the link to your image goes to. But in case that link is broken, what happens? It defaults to your alternative or alternative. So now, if you click on this font, what it's trying to say is that this Korean is your major font. But in case it doesn't work, it is going to move towards Korea or monospace. It's clear to us now. That is why it's called a font family. So if I go ahead and I try out, so let's try out Times New Roman. So okay, I think it's naturally Times New Roman, or maybe it's not even working. Let's try this out. So as you can see, it changed. That is basically what your font is all about. Let's see how it looks when it is very, very good. So that is basically what your font family is. Any question on font family? Question? Do you understand it? So, Mr. Ashosa, please do not get, I don't want to say scared. It's very easy to do. Trust me. A lot. Is it not easy? It's easy now. Very easy to do. Even though you do projects, but it's very easy. So just try to like follow up, watch those videos. And like I said, I'm saying this because it's very important. I know that you will not get everything. I just know it's we are just getting introduced to it, so you will not get it. So reach out to me if you do not understand, so that I can like probably help you out. And if it is possible, maybe if everybody reaches out to me between now and Sunday, maybe on Sunday I can just have like a 30 minutes Google Meet call for everybody that we can just probably explain some of these things again. So I think that's very okay for me to do. So maybe on Sunday we can have like a 30 minutes Google Meet call that we can use. But all right, moving on. The next part is your font style. What is font style? Font style is not is similar to like your font family, but in this case, it is not exactly having any family. It's just trying to say that okay, I want this particular text to have certain feel. So what am I saying? If I say font style, right, and I say italic, note what's going to happen. It's going to be slant. You've seen italics before, right? That's what your font style is all about. So your font style is going to probably change a particular text from very italicized or oblique to a normal text, or change a normal text to what? To an italic text or what? An oblique text. So when I mean italic and oblique, like font that has style, slant and text like this, that's really what your font style is going to do for you. So, but one thing that I need you to focus on, the three things I need to focus on is what? Font family, the font weight, and the font style, font size. I hope this is clear to us. All right. So again, as I say in almost every class, this is just my own experience. In fact, not my experience, part of my experience. This is just part of it. And it's not possible for me to like explain everything that I know in 3 months, right? I just have to explain things that I know that okay, if you know, you can build on it by yourself and become even a better programmer than I am. So, but one thing that I want you to do is please, after every class, go back home, watch the videos. In fact, if you listen in class, I do not think you need to watch those videos, right? But what I know that you need to do is that you need to, like, I have study materials already on the portal. So let's go to the, I'm going to upload more today. So now, these are study materials that you can use, text materials. I also have I've given us W3 schools to also use in studying. So if you can use those things, trust me, you are going to be one of the sought after programmer in the next couple of years, and it's not even a joke. All of those things need to be what you need to like follow all of those things. Read. Once you know how to read documentations, I know how to like study hard as a programmer. You are definitely going to be doing fine. So please try as much as possible to read all of this. It's very important. So so let us have a little bit of break. Let us write this out, and once we are done, we are going to go into other aspects of CSS properties.